I believe that Terrarians often speedrun the game and never take their time on their worlds. I want to change that, so over the course of a year, I will be playing on this one world, with each stage of progression being blocked until the start of a new month. I'm doing this so I can seriously take my time in each stage of Terraria Clamity mod's progression and see what it has to offer. So for the month of July, I am only allowed to defeat Leviathan, Astrum Aureus, and Golem. Otherwise, I can make no other form of progression. This is what happened. We're going to be kicking off with this month with something maybe very dumb and very time-consuming. So, Leviathan is the first boss next on the list, and, well, he's the Leviathan, you know? He's a big boy, big chonky boy, you know, biblical proportions. And, well, I think he needs a big ocean. Like, a really big ocean. So we're making a big ocean. Now I fear you might not have understood me when I said big ocean. See, first step is to make a nice little air pocket for our friends at the ocean pylon. Next step is to create an outline for how big this ocean is going to be, and if you would take a moment to appreciate just how high up these outlines go, you might begin to understand the awful undertaking that is about to take place. When the outline was finished, it was, of course, time to start pouring water everywhere, and as expected, it was pretty slow going. After about 10 minutes, I hadn't even fully submerged the bubble, and the basin increases in size as we go along, so it'll only take longer. This isn't going to be sustainable. My first attempt at making this whole process faster was purchasing water bombs. Are they actually faster? Well, I'm not sure they are, and even if they are, then I'm not sure the slight difference is worth the massive amount of money I spent on those bombs. This is when chat brought to my attention that, as it turns out, you can make automatic water dupers, and this person, Sorco Pico, had a little tutorial on how to make these. If you want to make them yourselves, then you'll have to watch the same tutorial I did, but I set up 3 water dupers and, well, maybe it helps, but I doubt they do a whole lot. I'd need a massive array of these things to actually make a real dent in this process. Another potentially better option is wet rockets. These are another very expensive method, but at least I don't need to spam click to shoot these things. Plus, with ammo conservation, I get a whole lot more bang for my buck, and so began the rocket launcher phase of this whole process. At this point, we're an hour in, and this much is filled. I'm also out of rockets and needed to farm brain for money. I also made Ranger Chlorophyte armor for more ammo conservation. This process is still obviously going to take way too long. I could spend the entire week and not fill half of this thing, and so it's time to do something I have never done before in any 1 year, 1 world video. I invited some friends.
Someone said I should read the entire script of the B movie. That's all I know. You like jam?
You like it? When all was said and done, I had fellow content creators Cataclysmic, Wyatt, Cloud, Wild LMO, and Wexel Radley all helping me create this watery monstrosity. Some of them have endgame gear, but don't worry, all they did was use bottomless water buckets to help fill this thing in.
Guys, I threw my water bucket. I don't know where it went. Let's go.
Dude, it's gone.
I don't have an extra.
It is sunk. Wexel also did a Wexel thing and joined with a hardcore character.
It didn't work.
Oh, there we go. Oh, Wexel, no!
No!
We lost one.
We don't have an Australian accent.
Rest in peace, Wexel.
He's really a hardcore character.
We no longer have our Australian. They gave the guy a bunch of doors to open and close, and I just got to thank all of these guys so much. Because of their help, after 2.5 hours, we managed to fill the entire outline of the massive ocean, and this would not have happened without them. I have made it, so I only have 1 ocean. I can teleport to. I can't. There's one other person who helped though. See, the ocean is really dark, and content creator Yardis brought to my attention that by using this fountain, I could make the water much brighter. They have limited reach, or I guess range, but at least it helps in the deepest part. Whoa, the distortion on the character. Oh, that's cool. Whoa, water effects. At last, I can fight Leviathan, but only in the water, of course. But the first step is finding this mermaid lady, and she wasn't spawning. Made a shadow candle and placed it in the houses because I think the NPCs were lowering spawn rates, and I also figured grabbing a water candle would be worthwhile. Lava shark, lava shark. Keep going, my lava shark. Go. Water candle makes it so water mobs have an easier time moving around. That's what I believe. Go, lava shark, go! I did legitimately traverse the temple with that lava shark without ever dismounting until I found a water candle. Still took a while, but the summon finally appeared. Let's do it! This is actually really cool fighting it underwater. And now, and since I have a bright weapon, I can kind of see things. Oh, this makes me so happy. I can't wait to see Leviathan in here. Oh, that did so much damage. So, there might be a slight problem. Anahita, the first boss before the Leviathan appears, because this is a two-part boss, was hitting me like a truck, and she's fast to boot. I also don't want to get off the lava shark because that's kind of the point of this arena, so I want to kill the boss this way, gosh darn it. The issue with the shark though is that it moves super fast horizontally, but is a bit slow vertically. Anahita also spawned projectiles in my path, and at my pace horizontally, it was next to impossible to see the projectile coming and dodge it in time. I was growing concerned that the ocean was a waste of, well, all of my time. Oh, and this is what it looks like during a blood moon. It's super, super neat. Maybe it's worthwhile just because of this. It's so fun. But could I even win? I hadn't even gotten past the first phase, and well, I brought a few more potions, and I guess something inside of me was unlocked because I popped off and made it to the Leviathan phase. Oh, he's over here somewhere. Oh, that's so cool in the water! Oh, worth it. You fight the big fish for a while, and then the mermaid lady appears, and you gotta fight them both. Was afraid that the combo of the two would wreck me, but lo and behold, today was my day, and they both died. All right, we went from 0 to hero. Let's go. And it's been done! Let's go! Hey! I tried again and learned that the lava shark really floats in space, which is super fun. And I mean, how many people have brought a lava shark into space? Like, come on! And before we continue, if you've been enjoying the video, consider subscribing. At the end of the year, I'll be firing one mini nuke 2 from this rocket launcher for every subscriber that I have. So if you've been enjoying the video and want to support long-form content like this, consider subscribing. I still had some time left in the week, and so I fished for more even koi and K-fish for potions. Started stacking crates because I like stacking crates, and absolutely decimated the old one's army. It looks super cool in this build too, so I'm pretty happy with it. The cool slime has also been literally dying for several weeks on a constant loop, so I decided to actually fix the housing so that'd stop, and then finished up by gathering those veil things from the solar eclipse, which drop after Plantera dies, and upgraded my rogue armor. Going into this week, I began to realize that there isn't exactly a whole lot of progression to be made before killing Golem. I've been trying for a few months now to only kill one boss each week, so that way I have a boss to kill and focus on each of those weeks, and not rush all of them in the first one and then get stuck trying to figure out what to do for the rest of the month. Spreading them out really helps time fly, I find, as well, but the bosses don't really offer anything new to do once they're dead, and the next boss, Astrum Aureus, I don't have any fun ideas on how to kill the thing, or at least I'm not making another super ocean. So there isn't exactly a whole lot I can do with the guy, but it turns out a special idea might not be necessary, and we'll get to that soon. First, I wanted to actually make a nice build where the astral pylon is. I still got a few shoe boxes hanging around in different places on this world, and they need to be upgraded. Eventually, every pylon should be a nice build, and since I'm going to be in the astral biome for a hot second, I might as well upgrade it now. I knew I wanted to use the astral monolith for the build, which is what this wood drop from the trees is called. Why is all the desert stuff growing so much? Oh, shark. I think that's astral shark. Why is the desert tree? Why are the trees in the desert growing so fast? But what goes well with this block? I tried a few options and settled on a smooth marble, which meant I needed more marble. All right, time to decimate a marble biome. Where's a marble biome? I mined up a marble biome I found, and fun fact, you can shimmer granite into marble and vice versa. Maybe someday I should go through the wiki on the shimmer and learn all the things that can be shimmered. It's such a handy feature. Thank you, Relogic, for this wonderful pool of pink liquid. Now, I do have one small issue with the astral biome build, and that is that I have absolutely no plan for it. The only thing I knew I wanted was to kind of lean it up against the tree, so I built an outline to kind of do that. I put some pearlstone brick and an astral monolith wall around in this pattern, while also adding some blocks for a second floor. And after a lot of back and forth, I ended up not making too many changes. It looks okay, I suppose. Would love to improve it, but I think the build overall is just so small, there isn't room to add any detailing. I'll need to increase its size to improve the thing, maybe. Wait, what is this? Wait, what? I have a kamikaze star? Whee! Okay, I'm itching to get to Aureus. Ah! Oh, it falls on your head immediately. Oh, that was a lot of damage. Oh! Okay, so now we know what we're getting ourselves. Ever since Calamity's last update, making Master Revengeance mode super annoyingly difficult, I've been making a habit of summoning bosses before bothering with an arena to gauge what to expect from the boss. Why is jump so big? Stop! Oh! I wanted to make an arena, but I paint all the platforms with echo paint. So it's invisible. I just have an invisible arena. That might be a bad decision. I still think it'd be fun to make an invisible arena, but considering how I've hardly even put a dent into Aureus' health, I figured I should be able to, well, see the platforms. And because, well, yeah, that's better. That's better. Oh, dear. That's in 2 shots! The Stomper stomping is really obnoxious to avoid. It jumps and just kind of glides at the same speed that I can move until it hits me. To dodge the thing, I have to dash the moment before it lands. Better yet, I can duck beneath the platforms and double back. That tended to work out so much better, so long as the projectiles weren't in the way. I also found the Infernophoric to be rather effective against it, but after several failures, I figured I should actually grab potions. Come on, die faster! Oh, I dodged that. No, I died! One issue seemed to be not having enough room, so I extended the arena to the other side of the tree. I could mine the tree away, but I like the tree, so it stays, even if it does function as an obstacle. The Stomper is still a problem because the moment you get caught in one of its attacks, you're toast. But once I got into a rhythm and was able to much more consistently dodge the boss's stomping, combined with the potions allowing for an occasional mistake, Aureus became the next boss checked off of the list. With the latest bosses, I've been needing to use potions much more often though, so I fished in the Crimson for Hemopiranhas as I was running low on the, wait, which one is it? Rage or Wrath? I can never remember which one adds damage and which one's Critical Strike. Yeah, Skeletron Archer really is. He's just trying. The great thing about fishing too is that I get a whole bunch of crates. Stacking crates. Get re-addicted. That's right, folks. Thorbin supports addiction. I really am addicted to stacking these crates though. This is fun, and I'm sure I'm going to need to fish plenty more for potions. I suspect this year's crate tower will be much more impressive than last year's. Moving on, the next pylon in need of upgrades is the Cavern Pylon in the Shimmer, where I placed a bunch of crystal shards, and someone suggested making the build hover over the Shimmer like the build itself has been shimmered, and I love that idea so much, I just had to do it. I think it's a little flatter than I'd prefer because the stalactites hang quite low in this Shimmer biome, and I don't want to remove them, so we'll just work with this. I'm a really big fan of the outline I made, but filling them in will be what determines if the build looks any good at all, and well, I think I did all right. It was quite the process getting here, and I don't think the building process was all that interesting. Plus, I used a number of modded blocks. Golfer! He will never escape his shimmering purgatory. Oh wait, this is both of them. This is the golfer and the... They will never leave. Oh no. If you're curious about something, just ask and I'll let you know. But yeah, it's different looking and pretty all right. I took care of another build, that being a proper system for holding all the water in the super ocean. Having some random bubbles wasn't enough, so I made a sandstone arch to replace the bubbles with, which not only looks better, but also puts more blocks between me and a world-ending flood. The whole time the livestream was trying to convince me to purchase a raw block of tungsten too. It's a whole random thing. I just had to mention that. Back to the build, I added some supports to the arch and also set up a fun tall gate with bubble blocks painted with echo coating, so that way there's a doorway into the water basin that also doesn't leak water. I just needed to remove the bubble blocks now. Can I mine it before I drown? Mine me, mine before you drown, and mine before... Oh, no, mine without making a single mistake and mining a wrong block. All right. Oh, we're cooking. Oh, I'm too low. There's no way. I can't make it. No, man. Removing these blocks did lower the water level slightly, so I just quickly poured a bunch of water in there, and that wrapped up the second week. Hiya, filthy little piggy. This week, we face Golem, a boss I am notoriously bad at killing, and this is going to be even worse considering how vanilla bosses in particular, since the Calamity update, have been absurdly difficult. Before fighting the boss, I sense I'm going to want a fast way to the jungle temple. So, time to add another teleporter to my teleportation station. Sadly, I can't place the teleporter thing inside the temple because wire can't be placed in the temple until after Golem is killed. But that's fine, close enough. Now I just gotta choose a wire color. And we're also gonna make sure it's a color that wouldn't otherwise be used, like yellow. Yellow, stop shooting at me! I'm trying to wire here. I'm mumbo-jumboing all over the place. So I held down left click and started dragging the wire up to the surface, only for it to suddenly disappear because you can only go so far with wire before it decides to just poof and force you to restart. I always forget that. Dragging it all the way would have saved on wire, but whatever. I actually finally have money so I can buy the necessary wiring that I need. It wouldn't be that easy though because I flipped the switch and nothing happened. Gosh darn it, what'd I miss? So the investigation of the missing connection commenced. Weirdly though, there appeared to be missing wire near the very start of the thing, which didn't make much sense, but whatever. I dragged more wire to connect the rest of it and headed back to make sure nothing else was missing. Wait, what? You saw that, right? I just added that wire. Why is it missing? I checked closer to the beginning and once again there is wire mysteriously missing. Something very not right is going on here, Scoob. Maybe some of the wire isn't loading in right, so I tried saving and exiting and then connected these two strands of wire despite the fact that these two strands, well, shouldn't exist. There should only be one in the first place, but whatever the case, it finally worked. Now it's time to clear out the jungle temple. Time to remove a bunch of traps. Yay. Now it's time for the part of the show where Thorben comes out and clears a bunch of traps. As I neared the end, I encountered one of the single coolest generation errors I have ever encountered. Wait, what the heck? Why are there 3 branching paths? To my absolute shock and amazement, going down one path brought me all the way back to where I had started. I genuinely don't know if this is intended generation added by Calamity, but I don't think so. I have never seen this before. There's a whole loop? A whole loop that leads to a whole bunch of nothing? Oh, this is bizarre. This is so cool. What if the jungle temple actually had misleading paths? Wrong directions that you could go in? That'd actually be super cool. I like this idea. It could have been a rare oddity that occurred from a combination of Calamity mod and Terraria's vanilla generation, because Calamity does add this massive arena, but whatever the case, I love this a lot. I don't like how big and open this is. Oh, I'm going to have to use all of this. I know I am. There's only one reason you make an arena this big. You're expected to use it all. Oh no! There was a metric ton of pressure plates on the bottom, and of course I need to remove them, but enemies won't stop spawning and their gore is covering all the pressure plates, so I couldn't make heads or tails of where the pressure plates might be, and so I just had to mine things on the floor, and of course that got me killed because I couldn't defend myself. I had to mine the pressure plates, and after I died, the pirates were around and ready to loot and pillage. Guys, can you stop killing my NPCs? I work so hard to have them here so I can use my pylon. Stay away from the bunny. Stay away. Stay away from Oreo. Oh, it's Oreo is his name. Oh, it's so cute. You will stay away from Oreo. I will defend him with my life. No, get away. No, Oreo, no, stay inside, Oreo, stay inside. You'll be fine in here with me, all right, buddy? No, don't go that way, don't go that way. Okay, yeah, I think he's fine. There's no one out here, there's no one out here to hurt him. Ah, get away. That's right, furry. Protect Oreo. Oreo must live. Hey, where's Oreo? Oreo? Where's Oreo? Wait, how did Oreo get up here? All right. Yeah, get yourself a well-deserved rest. Probably stressed out after all that. With pressure plates removed and Aureus saved, it was time to kill Golem. At first, I'm rather confused because I do not appear to be doing any damage. Turns out, though, I have to take down all 4 of his fists. Yes, I said 4, and then I can hit the actual body to lower his health bar. And once I reach this phase, Golem gets a little interesting. Ooh, he can jump! He's got some real hops. All right. Oh, ouch. There's also a million fireballs bouncing around, resulting in immediate death. This is not going to be easy. I didn't think I'd need a lot of platforms, and being able to fall fast felt like something that'd be helpful. Plus, I'm afraid of Golem landing on all the platforms and becoming even more of a threat, so I added a single layer of platforms for the battle. The second battle went poorly as well. Wait, what? It ran away! I am very upset. Come on! Okay, small rant, but if any game, any mod, gives you a pre-built arena that you're forced to fight the boss in, then you should not be capable of running away from the boss as long as you're in that pre-built arena. Being able to run away from a boss while in the designated zone is stupid. Anyways, first phase is very easy, and I almost always was able to go hitless and charge adrenaline, but once second phase began, it was all over. We're hardly putting a dent into Golem. Clearly, potions and passive forms of damage are going to be necessary for this battle, and although they did help, in the end, I was not all that close to actually killing the thing. The fireballs were nearly impossible to dodge, filling the screen in moments. Then Golem's jumping was inconsistent and weird. Now, you're not really meant to fly over Golem when he jumps, rather you need to go underneath him, because that's a much more reliable way to dodge, or at least that's what I would say, but his jumps were all over the place. Sometimes it was nice and casual, other times he cleared the whole arena, other times he just about went straight up, sometimes he went straight down, and others he'd glide at an angle, and on the rare occasion he'd jump without actually jumping. This unpredictability combined with fireballs littering the screen made the sentient hardened clay nearly impossible to survive. I hadn't even brought his health down halfway and entered third phase for the first time after about an hour of fighting the thing. All right, we're getting farther. Oh, the fireballs are shooting weird. I wonder, are these shared health or is it separate health? So far, it's significantly easier though than the last phase. Fireballs were the worst. Don't get carried away, don't get carried away. Ouch, come on. Oh, fireballs. No. Calm down. Oh, come on! So close! Ah! Third phase was a rare sight indeed. I didn't wrap my head around why it's so much easier than second phase, but I guess I'd rather die earlier than spend most of my time fighting the boss only to die late in the battle. Even with that said, I'd rather actually kill the thing, and as you saw, I have been using the Rod of Discord, but it's not always a great idea in second phase because there's no telling where the fireballs might be wherever it is I'm teleporting to, so I could be bringing myself right into the line of fire. There were so many small changes made to my strategy, but it mostly came down to just dodging the stupid fireballs. I could get close, but never clinched it until someone from chat suggested the game-changing strategy, which was using a new weapon. Say hello to the tears of heaven. I had to mine a single sea prism from my drill for this thing. This weapon has slightly more damage, but most importantly, it homes. So now I'm no longer missing any shots. Since changing to this weapon, I was able to kill the boss on the very first try. Holy cow. Oh no. No. Oh my goodness, it's dead. Oh my goodness, it's finally dead. Dang, I'm going to have to be much more experimental as we head into these later phases of the game, and maybe use the wiki for recommendations because these bosses are, well, they're taking hours to kill, just once, and I don't actually know what weapons there are in Calamity, at least not in this phase, and their damage alone isn't enough to know whether or not they're worth farming for. With the Golem dead, I could use the Pixaw to mine this ore called Scoria deep in the Abyss biome. Scoria can be used to craft a number of things, and I got my eyes set on this mage accessory. Only issue is that I need a celestial emblem, which requires an Avenger's emblem, which requires souls from all the mechs, and I'm fresh out of souls of sight and fright. I'm scared to try to farm for them after the 3 or 4 hour pain that was Skeletron Prime, so I sought out something I could shimmer. Thankfully, I had a now lower tier rogue weapon that required 7 of every soul. In order to shimmer it, though, I had to actually dive into the shimmer and throw it because it floated and it's kind of silly. Scoria combined with some other bars can make this thing called Life Alloy. Life Alloy makes a fruit that increases my base health by 25, as well as a host of other items, most of which can only be crafted with the Ancient Manipulator and Lunar Fragments, which just sucks. I can't get any of that until September. In the end, I couldn't make a whole lot of weapons and accessories with Scoria or Life Alloy, at least not yet. I'll need to do more farming. I could make, though, this one mage book that's a massively upgraded version of the Inferno Fork. Scoria did at least let me craft a new armor set as well. I don't like that No. I don't want this smoke as I'm walking around. Especially like these small steps. Now I'm just shrouded. No. This cannot stand. And at long last, I started to actually make my TM branded Thorben vanity set. Issue is, I have fedoras, but not a hunter's cloak. I know the traveling merchant sells them, but the Clo of the Year does as well under certain circumstances. It's not Ectomus, though. Turns out you need a high enough golf score. Did I just burp? Why a high golf score has any impact on what the Clo of the Year sells is beyond me, but whatever. I need to do some golfing. But where's the golfer? This is the one problem with having a lot of pylons. You don't know where anybody is. Golf? No. I do have a golfer, right? Wait, have I not found the golfer? I was convinced I hadn't found the golfer, so I went on a journey into the desert in search for him, only for me to suddenly remember the golfer had been shimmering himself last week and is now in his animal form. Guys, I figured it out. Golfing commenced until I hit the necessary points needed, and now I am fully branded up other than Betsy Wings. But you know, Old One's army should be super easy since Calamity didn't even touch it, and I have busted weapons, and this was mostly true. But once Betsy spawned, I had to focus on her, and because I hadn't farmed the second tier Old One's army, I didn't actually have a third tier staff, and so my ballistas couldn't defend the crystal for anything, and so I wasn't able to kill her fast enough. So I came close, but couldn't quite finish off the dragon, but at least that allowed me to collect 40 defender medals after each of the things, so I had enough to get the third tier one, and I'll have to utilize that next week. We're going back to the Old One's army really quickly. We have some unfinished business to do here. With this week, I think it's time we actually do some of the events. I need Betsy's Wings for my sweet branding, plus Calamity added special abilities or stat boosts to all the wings I can think of, so I'm interested what they might have done with Betsy's. Now that I have the third tier ballista staff too, I figured that this should be easy enough, but then the crystal broke right before I finished off the dragon. Didn't expect that, just expected my Calamity gear to be so busted I'd cleared the dragon in no time at all, but I suppose Calamity's added difficulties have probably added more health or something to Betsy. As much as I love Mage, I did learn last year that Old One's army is significantly easier to handle when you run Summon class, since Summon boosts the damage of all the sentries I place, and that did the trick. Let's go. We killed one Betsy, and we did not get anything that we can use. That is just wonderful. I did struggle a bit with the battle, though, because I still only have the Durandal for a whip. Base Calamity adds, I'm pretty sure, exactly 0 whips. There is a mod that adds a bunch, but I'm sticking with vanilla Calamity, so there's no new whips to take advantage of, but there are some vanilla ones, such as the Dark Harvest from the Pumpkin Moon. I need more ectoplasm to make the Pumpkin Medallion, so that's why I'm in the dungeon right now, and apparently ectoplasm isn't the only thing I'm missing. I still don't have pumpkins! So I purchased a bunch of pumpkin seeds and planted them around while we wait for them to grow. You shall grow. Grow to full strength, my pumpkins. Grow. I figured I'd keep myself busy by taking on the Frost Moon. There isn't exactly a whole lot I want or need from it. Maybe there's a new rogue weapon drop I don't know about, but I'll focus on collecting a Razor Pine and Blizzard Staff, neither of which I'm sure are as good as Calamity's modded weapons, but I like them, alright, so I'll get them. In the end, there isn't really much to say here. I killed several Everscreams and Ice Queens and happened to get every drop I was after. Please die. It's almost day. And I want a Blizzard Staff, darn it. Hey, she actually dropped it. Nice. Guess that basically checks that event off the list until some other point of regression where Calamity adds a new drop to this whole event. I forget when, but it'll come back. I have run into a bit of a problem with the relics though. See, I organized this whole thing so there'd be enough room for each of the mainline bosses while also sorting them by month, but considering how I'm doing the Old One's army, Frost Moon, and other events this month, they should all theoretically go in this one place for July, But there's not even close to enough room without encroaching on the space for August or September relics. I think I'm going to make a separate miniature rooms to the right of this main one and have each room be themed after each of the events with the corresponding relics. It'll look cool, I hope. I'll build it at another time. For now, I wanted to actually take down the Pumpkin Moon. This event has a lot more that I actually want. There's the Dark Harvest and the Witch's Broom, which are the primary things I'm after. A Raven Staff would be good just to see if it's comparable to the Calamity summons. Also, the Hex Branch is an awesome mount. After the first night, most of what I wanted dropped, all except the Witch's Broom. The Raven Staff wasn't worthwhile, so well, that went straight into storage. With the Dark Harvest, though, my damage for a summoner had gone up exponentially, making my summoner the best straight DPS class at this moment, and well, that's quite helpful when farming the Pumpkin Moon again for the Witch's Broom. With everything I wanted farm for, I figured the Old One's army should be all the more easier to farm now that my whip is twice as powerful, and that it was much easier to farm. Unfortunately, the Terraria RNG was RNGing all over the place. Wings have a 25% chance of dropping from the dragon, and it took 8 dragons before the wings were finally mine. And by that I mean just one pair of wings. I would really like one for each of my builds, so I had my sweet branding for all 3, but considering how I've spent an hour doing nothing but farming this army, I figured it's time to do something else. Since I've been using Summoner so much this week, I started looking a bit harder at my equipment, and I know there's upgrades to be had, like the Papyrus Scroll, or whatever it's called. Need an accessory dropped from the Morning Woods during the Pumpkin Moon that apparently hadn't dropped in the last 2 that I'd farmed, and it took yet another 2 before I was able to get my hands on a Necromantic Scroll. I actually got 2 of them back to back because that's just how the RNG is working right now. A number of summoner accessories could now be combined into the Status's Blessing. One other accessory I can add to the arsenal is called the Star Tainted Generator, which requires a number of accessories I don't recognize. Fellow content creator Prisma Ace happened to join the stream and guided me to finding the pieces I needed, including the Starburster Core dropped from enemies in the underground astral biome and the nuclear fuel rod dropped by a Krogmire Maw in the 2nd tier Acid Rain. Now Summoner is much better built out, but I'm still missing one accessory called the Heart of the Elements, which I think is a good Summoner accessory. Issue is that the last piece of the accessory I'm missing is dropped by Leviathan, and I haven't made too much progression since last killing the thing, so I didn't expect I'll be able to farm him too well. I'm also a bit out of practice with using the lava shark in this massive ocean. Maneuvering this thing makes all the difference in the battle. I gave it several attempts using my new summoner build and came really close twice, but couldn't quite clinch it, and I didn't want to burn a bunch more of my potions just to farm the thing. Potions are expensive and take time. Keeping them in stock, especially when bosses require 10 or more attempts a pop with twice as many bosses as last year, it's really put quite a strain on my potion supply. Fishing and stacking crates has become a much more regular part of my rhythm at this stage of the game. Now, as I mentioned, bosses are incredibly hard to farm unless they are way back in progression, so I've been holding off on farming the mechs for their souls and hollowed bars for a while. Totally forgot I could mine more hollowed ore, but I still need the souls anyways for a number of things, including upgrading my magic storage. Been too afraid to give them another try, but I'm feeling good and was able to bring Skeletron Prime to what I guess we'll call second phase on the first attempt without potions. The second attempt, using a little more precision and strategy, revealed that they are very much doable.
Oh, the mechs are farmable. They are actually farmable now. Let's go, okay.
Issue is though, I spent 4 hours trying to kill Skeletron Prime, learning his pattern and how he works. The other mechs have been upgraded too though, and so despite being much more powerful than needed, it was a little tough figuring out how to dodge the twins, for example. I farmed the Destroyer a little more than the others, so I didn't need to collect Souls of Might quite yet, but we'll get to him. For now, taking out the twins and fully upgrading my magic storage is good enough for me. And with that marks the end of July. August will be an interesting month, and we're fighting all of the bosses right before Moonlord, and I think it'll be a great opportunity to make sure that all my classes are actually properly optimized and upgraded.